coach. You don't need a coach. Yes, people, welcome to another episode of Terrace Live. It's a good morning. Is it morning? No, it's actually afternoon. Jesus Christ. You see, this weather is always confusing me. Because of the weather, I always mainly think it's still morning. Meanwhile, it's actually afternoon. That's the British weather for you. But listen, guys, Arsenal is playing West Brom today. So can we make it 3 wins out of 3? Is that possible? I'm joined by Egal from Football Terrace. You might have seen him around the block, having a lot of heated debate with a lot of Arsenal fans, which I love to see. I love to see heated debates. I just hope it doesn't get heated with you today. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. You know me, man. As long as you're not a big pessimistic, we're gonna be getting along just fine. And I feel like I've been watching a lot of your stuff from the past, and I feel like you generally back your points with statistics. You don't just say your opinions are facts. Because to me, the biggest thing that I dislike is someone saying, "Oh, the fact is this guy's bad," and then they don't say that no statistics or no analysis behind their facts, and that's what gets me. That's what grinds my gears, I would say.
So basically, they touch your buttons when they do that. Basically,
100%.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what? Yeah, don't worry. I'm not gonna press your buttons today. Hopefully, I'm just gonna be the moderator here and the host, and I'm trying to get your opinions really about certain things in football. And obviously, we all know that we have a good record against West Brom. I think we've won about 16. We've won about 10 games. 16 games, and they've won just 4 really, which is a good record. But if Arsenal is anything to go by, we know that records don't mean anything right now because we are in a situation whereby nothing like record is going to control our destiny. We need to control our destiny. We need to control how we play football. We have a this is one of our worst seasons ever. So the question is, what are you feeling about the West Brom game today? Because we're going to be going into a few things like maybe Aubameyang, for instance, if you want him to start, Martinelli, Saka. We're going to get into those little details. But on a general scale, are you optimistic about, playing West Brom today?
If you know me, I'm always optimistic. Even against Man City, Liverpool, it doesn't matter who we face. I generally go into every game saying there is an opportunity for us to win this game and come out with 3 points. And none other more than these kind of games versus the lower half of the table. Well, I know it's West Brom, and I know that West Brom just got Big Sam, and Big Sam is going to try to set up defensively. But I feel like this game is a game that we should be going out and winning. On paper, these are the games that we guaranteed need to get 3 points from every single season. The teams that get promoted, the teams that are fighting for relegation, the teams at the bottom of the table, it should be guaranteed 3 points. And to me, this game, we've just turned the corner. We started to get form. The young kids are going to get game time, in my opinion, again. And if Arteta does what he did the past 2 games, even though the Brighton game was a shaky win, I think we can come out of this game against West Brom to win. They're going to play very defensive, and it might play into our hands being so front forward. Because I don't see a lot of goal scoring opportunities coming for West Brom.
So here's the thing. There are 2 points that you just said, which I want us to talk about. You said guaranteed win. I mean, I don't know if there's anything like guaranteed win right now, going by how the league is right now. I mean, Tottenham just won a game, and even if they have a game in hand, if we win this game, for instance, we're going to be 6 points away from Tottenham, but they have a game in hand, right? So we're going to be 6 points away from them, which simply means we're going to have 23 points if we win this game, and they have 29. So that's 6 points. So that's going to be maybe taking us to maybe 11th. So if you think about it, between the person that is in 3rd position and the person that is going to be 11th with it's just 6 points. That's a very weird situation in the Premier League. And the Premier League this season has a new record, whereby a lot of teams are winning the most games away from home. This is a new record, which tells me that the COVID has really affected a lot of things in football. Now, another thing is, we know that Big Sam is always going to set up defensively. And Big Sam has a fairly good record against Arsenal. And he also has a fairly good record against Liverpool and even Man City. I think he did very well when he was playing with Bolton, not playing, when he was managing Bolton Wanderers. He had most of his wins against Arsene Wenger, and we all know that Arsene Wenger doesn't like his tactics at all, So, among all the teams he's played, among all the teams he's managed, he kind of always gets points against Arsenal. He's managed Blackburn, He's managed Crystal Palace. He's managed Everton, West Ham, Bolton. He's managed Sunderland. And this guy always makes sure he gets points out of us every season. That's how he knows how to play Arsenal. I think Everton and West Ham are the only teams he has not gotten the point of Arsenal. So this guy knows how to play us. Do you know what I mean? So saying that is a guarantee, I find that very, very difficult right now, going by all these things I've just said. But then again, as an Arsenal fan, I kind of understand your positivity. And it's always good to be positive. But I'm not going to lie to you. I've not been very, very positive recently because I'm being realistic with the situation on ground. Do you know what I mean? So, first and foremost, what do you predict the game is going to be like, in terms of scoreline? What's your predictions?
Can I just add on to one thing you said? You said the space between third and is 6 points. Also, if we win this game, obviously we're not going to go jump right into the top 5 or anything like that. But if we win this game and we win our next game, right? And somehow we have teams like Chelsea drop points the next 2 games back to back. We'll be level on points with Chelsea. We could be level on points at the end of this by the end of January. Everything could have flipped. And if you don't remember, Manchester United were in a similar situation last season. They ended up finishing 3rd. The difference between Manchester United and ourselves, they didn't sack a manager. What they did was they made sure they got rid of the rotten eggs. Now, before I get too deep into that, I'm going to get back to the game now. I don't think it's...
Listen, feel free to tell me what you want to tell me at the end of the day. Please, feel free. That's what we're here for. We're not just... The fact that we're talking about West Brom and Arsenal doesn't mean we're just going to restrict it to West Brom and Arsenal. At the end of the day, we are Arsenal fans. We're here to talk about Arsenal as a whole. And whatever we talk about in this game is still going to affect other games in future. Do you know what I mean? So, talking about the previous games against Chelsea and against Brighton, what did you think worked for us? What's the difference?
The difference between the Chelsea game and the Brighton game is we had the youth playing. So Saka on the right-hand side.
Sorry to cut you short. The difference between those 2 games and the rest of the games that we've been messing up. That's what I meant.
Yeah, the difference between those games is we had players playing in the rightful positions like Martinelli, Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe. We actually played with a number 10, a creative player. We've missed a person in that middle pocket of the midfield. If you look at our actual average positions per game, every game that we played, especially the Burnley game, we had nobody in that Burnley game who was sitting behind the striker in between the defense. Lacazette tried to do that against Spurs, and it did not work to full effect same way it did against the teams in Europe. Obviously, it doesn't help us facing lesser competition in Europe. Actually, makes it harder for our first team to get more proper game training. Because if you're in the Champions League, your team faces a level of competition that's higher. So it can actually benefit you for being a match fit and more ready for the weekend's games. Actually, playing a second team sometimes can cause some detriment to your performances and your form. When you have Aubameyang playing 1 game a week and then the next game he's sitting, and then you have Lacazette playing 1 game a week, next game he's sitting, then you have Eddie Nketiah starting a game out of nowhere, and then Lacazette's not even in the team until Europe. So it's like it doesn't benefit our team's form, and not having a proper team, not knowing which players are supposed to play in which positions. And in my opinion, Willian is finished in this club. Like, to me, he's finished.
You don't think it's too early to say that? You don't think it's too early to say that?
No,
because obviously he has not had as much time as Pepe, has he?
I've never been more frustrated in my life with a signing.
So that's the question. Is it your frustration talking, or is it the fact that you just feel that he still needs a bit more time like Pepe? This is just me being diplomatic here.
He's Premier League proven. What do we say about signing Premier League proven players? Let's get Premier League proven players into the team. They'll bring a level of understanding to the game, a level of understanding to the Premier League, and adjust quickly. He's come from Chelsea, where he scored 14 goals, a lot of them being penalties, and got a bunch of assists, come straight into our team, and he brought all his baggage with him, and he didn't bring any left to skill. And I feel like there's a lot of things that I'm saying that are subjective. Let me be honest with the statistics here. Yes, he scored. No, he didn't score. He got a couple assists, 4 assists, I think. So far.
Three assists. Yeah, the Fulham game. I mean, actually, according to fantasy, it's 3 assists. But according to the Premier League, I think it's 2 assists.
He has 3 assists in the Premier League. Gabriel the other day against Wolves. So he has 3 actual assists.
Oh yeah, 3 assists. Sorry, I'm mixing up. He had 2 in the Fulham game, and then against Wolves 1, so that's 3. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was directly involved in the goal that Lacazette scored, which was a rebound. That's why it was a fantasy assist. Now that is all good and everything, but there's also times where he's costing us goals. He's costing us game-winning opportunities. You know how Saka just took the shot against Chelsea?
Mm-hmm.
Willian in that situation would pass it backwards to a midfielder. He wouldn't take a shot. In addition to that, there would be times where you just need to play the ball across the box. Play it to the man inside the box.
But sorry to cut you short there. Do you agree with me that whether we like it or not, Willian still puts in more crosses when he's playing in there compared to Pepe? He still whips in a lot of crosses, even if I don't.
I'm not comparing him to Pepe right now. I'm looking at him as an individual.
Okay.
I feel like we have, with his wages, his age, and the fact that he can only decline at this point. Where Pepe, he's still young. You could see more from him growing as a player. Where Willian,
he improves, isn't it? If he applies himself the right way.
Yeah. So if you want me to compare the players, they're in 2 different levels. One is on enormous wages at the back end of his career, just playing in his early 30s. Another man is in his mid 20s, right? He's in his mid 20s, he just turned 25, and he has a lot of room to grow. And also we have Saka, who's a better player than both of them in that right hand side right now. So to me, if you're gonna have a third option off the bench on 200k a week, and he's a 33-year-old, we were better to keep Mkhitaryan on 140.
I hear what you're saying. So I'm just going to pick a few comments here. The few guys have kind of said it. I have those 3 comments here, but let me just talk about them. So I really don't know how to pronounce his name. Is it Bezel Clone, I think? Look, guys, I'm just going to confess to you, I'm very, very bad with name pronunciation. So I apologize if I mess it up. And that's not me being disrespectful. It's just been me being crap with names, okay? And a lot of people know that. A lot of people know that. On the FTV, I've been trolled several times in the way I pronounce the likes of Aubameyang. My name calling is just messed up. It's not my fault. Anyway, Besco here says Oba is crap. Do you agree with that statement?
No. Form is temporary, class is permanent. Aubameyang is a class player. My guy, Venezuela. Form is temporary, class is permanent. Let's be honest. Every single player, the top players in the world, have bad form. Messi himself, a couple weeks ago, had like a 3-game goal drought. People were saying, "Oh, is Messi finished?" You know, these things happen immediately when people have.
But with Oba, Egal, I think I'm gonna ask you this question. I want you to answer very honestly. When Oba is not scoring, what does he offer the team? Be very honest.
He doesn't really offer us much when he's not scoring goals. I'm not gonna lie to you.
So I think that's where a lot of people. I don't agree with that statement that he's crap. No player is crap because every player is useful depending on how you use them in football. I think what that guy might be trying to say is that he's not playing well, which I agree with, which is one of the main topics I wanted us to talk about. So I think we should just get into it now.
Yeah,
Oba has been very poor. And I think one thing that frustrates a lot of fans about Oba is they compare him with other players. Look at Harry Kane today, for instance. I can't believe I'm saying this. I never like to use Tottenham players as examples, but I have to. He has the highest number of assists this season. He's adapted his game. He's changed the way he plays football, and he's still scoring goals. You know, he's still scoring some good amount of goals. And you see his general gameplay, Harry Kane. He offers much more to the team because he knows how to create. He knows how to work hard for the team when he's not scoring goals, right? And then you look at the likes of Mane, you look at the likes of Salah. They can also create. They can also make things happen when they're not scoring goals. And I think that's one of the main frustrations with Oba. But what people also fail to understand is that's what he has always been all about all his career. So I don't see him changing at 31. I don't see that ever changing. People just have to come to grips with that. But at the same time, I still don't blame people that get angry with them. They're entitled to get angry because they want to see more. It is what it is. Do you know what I mean? So the question, as much as I said all this now, the question now is, do you want to see him start? Because I didn't want to see him start in the last game. But then again, Arteta came out and said the reason Lacazette did not start was because he had a little bit of a knock somewhere on his back. And that's the reason why Lacazette didn't start. Which tells me there was a probability that maybe, just maybe, Arteta might have started Lacazette in that last game instead of Oba, if not because of the knock. I don't know whether that's true. Arteta could be saying whatever he wants to say, do you know what I mean? But based on all this and based on his recent performances and based on Laka's recent performances, would you want to see Oba start ahead of Lacazette?
To me, I did not. I would have kept the same team that beat Chelsea. So I wouldn't have brought Lacazette out of the team. I would have kept Aubameyang out of the team. And I felt like Aubameyang didn't offer us enough during the Brighton game. He had enough opportunities to score. He did not score. Also, when you have those chances, the good thing Lacazette did was he took the near post chance and he took it on the near post. Where Aubameyang, you almost, whenever he's on the near post trying to get those tap-ins like Giroud would, it's sometimes, unless he's already clear of the goalkeeper, those tap-ins don't go in for him. Have you noticed?
Well, he scored a lot of those goals for us, though.
He has, but some of those chances are more when he's running with the ball, not really when he's coming at the last end, just tapping it in. Even the goal against Leicester, one of the most legendary goals that he's had while he's been here, the goal against Leicester where Ozil plays and we played all those balls from the back. If you look at it, the goalkeeper's in front of him when he's tapping it in. The ball's already gone past the goalkeeper. The same thing versus Valencia, the tap in against Valencia. The ball's already past the goalkeeper. A lot of the chances when he's 1-on-1 against the goalkeeper, unless he's running with the ball, it's almost like his first thing is just to try to get it on target, and he doesn't know exactly where to pick his spots. I'm not being overly critical, but Aubameyang still does offer us something. He offers us a lot of deterrence from other players. If he's a striker, he's taking up a center back immediately. If he's on the left, he has two people who are monitoring his situation, and they spend so much time trying to nullify Aubameyang that it goes to show you how poor our other players were performing around him.
But don't you think that, in spite of the fact that you're saying, right, because funny enough, he hasn't done very well playing through the middle. Let's be real. And I maintain, there's a lot of people saying stuff here. I'll put some of these comments on because they're quite interesting. I still maintain that Oba playing as a lone striker in the middle, for me, doesn't work. I mean, going by what we've seen and going by what I have seen him do and going by the recent examples, it doesn't work. People said they should play him in the middle. They played in the middle now in the last 3 or 4 games. It just hasn't worked. And majority of his goals while in Arsenal has always come from the left-hand side. Let's be real, whether we like it or not. And when he's coming from the left-hand side, what he does is he drifts into the box a lot. It's all part of the game plan for him to drip into the box. But then again, you see the likes of Martinelli, you see the likes of Saka, you kind of see more from these players than you see from Oba. And when Martinelli and Saka are playing with Lacazette, they bring out the best in Lacazette because Lacazette can do the link-up play, he can do the hold-up play, he can play the balls behind the defenders, and the likes of Martinelli and the likes of Saka can run behind those defenders and get the ball. That being said, Lloyd Rank is saying that Oba has to start. Well, I think you and I don't agree with that. Lloyd, you want Oba to start. What's your reason? You're saying that Oba is what? Oba is world-class. We know he's world-class, but what we're talking about now is he's in a very poor form. And if you're in a very poor form, if you look at the likes of Manchester City, for instance, Pep doesn't even have time for anyone. If you're messing up, he benches you. There was a time he put Sergio Aguero on the bench for Jesus. Do you know what I mean? But then again, he has the luxury of quality players on the bench that can come in. The likes of Bernardo Silva sitting on the bench, the likes of Mahrez sitting on the bench, even Foden. Foden right now will make Arsenal football team, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Foden,
he's a baller. Yeah.
He's a baller. He's going to make it, but he's not even seeing the chances. And I'm hearing he's getting a bit frustrated now in Man City. So that tells you that when you have a club that is filled up with so much quality, you know, you can easily just decide to bench whoever you want to bench and bring someone else in. But we can't afford that in Arsenal. We can't afford that in Arsenal.
You've said this many times. You said play the players on merit. And you know what? On merit, the team that should play is the front three that played against Chelsea. That is the front three that should play. The front three that scored against Brighton was Emil Smith-Rowe on the left. Aubameyang was on the left and Lacazette was up top. So if Martinelli gets dropped, it makes sense that Aubameyang plays. But if Lacazette's getting dropped for Aubameyang, to us, I feel like even yourself right now, we both are in agreement. Aubameyang starting up top, people were crying for it, but it's not the solution to our answers.
Do you know what? Let me zoom into this quickly for you. Right. So I think this was the lineup. This was the lineup against
Chelsea.
Brighton. No, this was against Brighton. Yeah, this was against Brighton because obviously you have Oba starting in the middle, you have Gabriel on the left, you have Smith Rowe, Bukayo Saka. Um, let's be real. One of the poorest player in the pitch that day was Oba. Yeah,
Yeah.
in that particular game. And I think when they were taking off Gabriel Martinelli, people were hoping that Oba was going to be the person to be taken off, all because he wasn't playing very well. Now, aside from Oba, who in this lineup would you like off the team? I have my own person in my mind, but I want to hear your opinion before I say mine.
I personally feel like I'm changing the back four. I'm taking Hector Bellerin out. I'm putting Ainsley in.
Why?
Okay.
Because
I feel like
Bellerin has been good the last 2 games. Let's be real.
Yes, Bellerin has been good the last 2 games, and maybe it's time to just change it a little bit, tweak it a little bit, because we've seen Ainsley Maitland-Niles get into the box and win us a penalty against was it Wolves? No, who was it against that we got the penalty?
Chelsea.
Southampton.
You mean Chelsea?
Was it Southampton that we got the penalty?
No. We didn't get a penalty against Chelsea.
Kieran Tierney got a penalty against Chelsea, but we got Ainsley Maitland-Niles got us a penalty recently as a
right. They won us 3-1 in that game. That was that not the Man City game?
That was the Man City game?
I think that was the one that Laka scored, isn't it? The penalty.
Is it?
I'm trying to remember now. I think that Everton. That was Everton. Someone here says Everton. That was Everton. Yeah, that was Everton game.
Everton
2-1.
game.
We lost 2-1. Yeah.
We lost 2-1 that game, but of course, Ainsley Maitland-Niles did get forward, and he gets forward and he links up better with the right-handed attacking winger. I feel like Bellerin at times, we harshly criticize him, but I feel like it's fair to say that there's been many times defensively where he's not been switched on against Liverpool, against Aston Villa, even against Leeds at times he was not switched on, and he does get beat easily. So I think give Ainsley Maitland-Niles a chance against the lower half of the table. This is a game where he can show us a lot. And even if you don't want to play him in that position, I would say there's even a shout for him to get in an Elneny situation and play instead of Elneny, you play Ainsley and Granit Xhaka, where you have the pace and power of Ainsley Maitland-Niles on that right-hand side, and he can double up and help out on the defensive end, and he can get forward. Because Ainsley, to me, he is a key piece to our future that we're not utilizing well enough.
Yeah.
So I would try to find a way to shoehorn Ainsley Maitland-Niles into the team, and that's the change that I would make.
Okay, cool. Do you know what? Yeah, I'm not going to fault you for going with that, because let's be real. Bellerin is very inconsistent, and I mean, 3 games in a row, you want to switch up your players a little bit. So I kind of understand why you're saying that as well. But one player I would also give a rest is Elneny. I felt that, for me personally, I felt Elneny in the last couple of games, he's made some mistakes, which almost led to goals. Let's be real. I don't know what's wrong with his concentration, or maybe, I don't know, he had some rush of blood to the head. I don't know what happened to him, because many times when he loses those possessions, he wasn't even under pressure. Do you know what I mean? So you can tell he was scared in most of those situations, really. And, it's just one of the players I think I'm going to give a rest. So I think both of us in combination, we're thinking about Aubameyang, Elneny, and Hector Bellerin having a bit of rest. But we're going to come back to this because this is something I want to talk about it. But now let's just take a few comments. So Ahmad here says, do you think Oba is overrated? My line goes, when people called him better than Kane and Suarez last season. What do you think about this comment?
Listen, each player is slightly different. Aubameyang to me is clinical at finishing, and that's right now he's going through a bad form. Kane is a better overall striker than Aubameyang, and Luis Suarez to me has more ability than all 3. Yeah. So to me, each person is different in their own way, and when you say somebody's overrated, you can call anybody overrated based on fans' opinion, pundits, or price tag. But to me, Aubameyang, being one of the top goal scorers in Europe for the past 5 seasons, if you're calling him overrated, you need to add more context, Ahmed.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think it all depends on the context, because let's be real. I had a look at Aubameyang's records over the last 6 years, even from Dortmund, and I can tell you guys that 30 or 20% of his goals are actually from open. Sorry, 70% of his goals are from open play. The remaining 30 or 20 are from penalties. And I look at the likes of Kane and all that; they have more penalty than he did. So I kind of see where you're coming from with that. Really, let's be real. He has what he has what he's good at, and he has what he's bad at. And when you say overall gameplay, I can say Kane and Suarez are way better than him. But when it comes to scoring goals and all that, you can put him up there with the rest of the guys. So I kind of understand what you mean. So it's all about the context. Lloyd Ramsey again says Kane has got Son behind him. Listen, you can say Kane has got Son behind him, but I personally still feel that, for instance, now the game today, right, against Leeds, the assist that Kane gave, I have never seen Oba give that kind of assist. Never. I have never seen Oba give assist that shows some sort of creativity from him. Like, do you want to give a slicing through ball? Do you want to give a, an Ozil kind of assist? Like, I've never seen that from Oba. And I've seen a lot from Kane. Do you know what I mean? So let's be real, man. The fact that you say has Son behind him, I get it. I get that Son is complimenting him, but you can't take anything away from those assists that Kane actually gives. You can't take anything away from it. You were able to pronounce this name properly. Let me see if I can try it. Velvisham, I think. Is it Velvisham?
Velvishwan.
Velvishwan. I'm so sorry, Velvishwan. Like I said earlier, my pronunciations are very poor. If you're just joining, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's new, it's growing. I only just started my lives a few weeks ago, and please, you have to help me grow. Yeah. So he said, you guys need Lord Divock Origi to save Arsenal. Get out of here, man.
He's a Liverpool fan. I'll tell you that. He's a regular
subscriber. Yeah, he's a Liverpool man.
Yeah.
Curtis Jones getting into the Arsenal midfield. I don't think so. Well,
I don't disagree with that. If Emil Smith-Rowe is starting, if Emil Smith-Rowe is starting, why wouldn't Curtis Jones start? He's just as good.
No, the little I've seen, honestly, bro, the little I've seen from Emil Smith-Rowe, yeah, I think I've seen a little bit of Curtis Jones. I think he's a good player, but I will pick Emil Smith-Rowe ahead of him because I think there's certain things, and this one thing I was telling Kenny Ken, because myself and Kenny Ken, we go into a big argument about Emil Smith-Rowe. In the game against Chelsea, Kenny Ken gave Emil Smith-Rowe a 6. And I was like, Kenny Ken, were you sleeping the whole game? Because I don't understand why you would give him a 6. Myself and Ada, who was on the live show, we disagreed with him. Now, Emil Smith-Rowe is very intelligent, but you can see a big difference between Emil Smith-Rowe and Willock, for instance.
Yeah.
What people don't really understand about football is not all about doing the dazzling stuff. It's about doing the basics and making everyone around you look good. Xavi was not doing anything too dazzling. What he was doing the basics, right? The short passes, the long passes, making everyone around him look good. Understand what I mean? When I mean,
you're talking about a legend. Don't. No,
he's a legend. Himself and Pirlo. What those guys do is they keep things simple. They don't go overboard trying to dribble 10, 15. They don't care about that. What they care about is making things stick. And what Emil Smith-Rowe is doing for his age, right, is getting into the right spaces, right, putting himself in the right positions, doing the basic stuff, knowing when to give the short passes, knowing when to give the long passes, knowing when to make the right runs, knowing when to get into positions that are going to elude every defender. And those things are very important. And he was also putting in the work. I did a video recently about number 10s don't tackle with a question mark. Number 10s do tackle. And that's one thing he was doing in most of the games. He won 3 draws out of 4 against Chelsea, most of them against Kante. So if we look at a player that has creativity and can also work for the team, that's what you're looking for. So if I'm going to be comparing between Emil Smith-Rowe and Curtis Jones, I'm probably going to stick with Emil Smith-Rowe, to be honest with you. I'm not saying that he's not good. I'm not saying that he's not good. Yeah, but then again, we just need to understand the fact that we have a player in Emil Smith-Rowe, and I'm going to stick to that. Right, so let's take another comment. Legrand said can't play him in middle. His position is.
I was going to ask you a question.
Yeah, go on.
Getting back to Aubameyang.
Yeah.
People said he needs to be playing. Stop playing him out of his position. Stop playing him out of his position. What stance were you taking when people were saying the left? He's getting wasted on the left. Because I was one of the people who was saying I love the fact that he's playing on the left and he offers us more attacking wise more defensive work, and he's actually more involved in the build-up of goals when he's on the left than he is up front, because he doesn't have the build-up play and everything. And then when we stopped seeing him scoring goals, I kind of said, I see where people are coming from, that we need to play him up front. Maybe he'll get more opportunities, but to me, he's still better from the left. For you, you said he's better from the left, but do you understand why people say he should be playing as a striker?
Yeah, so this is the thing, right? One thing about fans is we're very reactional, right? And that's because a lot of people don't look at the technicalities of the football game. All they want to care about is goals and winning. That's it. They don't care about the technicalities of the game, right? I have had this argument for years, even with Robbie. I've had this argument with Robbie. I've had this argument with Curtis. I think I've had this argument with Curtis offline, out of the Emirates Stadium. I've had it with Robbie's brother Laurie as well. Curtis was always sort of saying he wants him to play in the middle. Robbie was saying he feels he should play in the middle. And the question I always put back to them is, how many goals has Aubameyang scored for Arsenal Football Club? And how many of those goals came from him playing on the left? So I've always been a proponent of him playing on the left. I have always been, even till date. Even till date, I have always been. And my simple reasoning is simply because, one, he scored about 75 goals for Arsenal, right? Coming from that position. I think 75 or 76 goals in general. Majority of them coming from that position. That's one. Two, when I see him play up top as a lone striker, he falters. If Oba is going to play in the middle, right, he needs a fantastic person partnering him as a second striker, a supporting striker, or as a 10. Will is going to complement him. Then they can do the 1-2 passes. Both of them can each make runs behind the defenders, and they do the 1-2s, and they move forward together. But if you leave Oba as a lone striker against several defenders, he cannot play with his back to goal. He cannot play with the flicks. He cannot play with the hold-up play kind of tactics. He cannot do that. And that's one thing I've been saying. I got a lot of stick for it. But I wasn't speaking just because of as a fan. I'm speaking from a perspective of someone that wants to watch a football game from a technical standpoint, right? And analyze it from there. And now I think a lot of fans are slowly beginning to change their opinions now. Because him playing through the middle now is not working. And guess what? When Emre started playing this guy on the left wing, people were blaming him. Emre is gone now. Arteta came and did the same thing. I think fans need to try and understand that you can't have 3 stupid coaches. It's almost, you can't, do you understand what I'm saying? This guy's training with these guys every day, and they're like, this guy's not doing it for me in the middle, man. He's not strong enough. He can't hold up play. People need to understand that. But fans are reactional, because when something don't work, blame the coach. That's the motto of fans. Blame the coach. It doesn't work, blame the coach. Aubameyang missed an open net, blame the coach. Mustafi did an own goal, blame the coach. It's almost the motto. And sometimes I just feel that the inputs of managers are overestimated. Let's be real. How much coaching did Arsene Wenger do? I don't know if you've seen the video. I don't know if you've seen the video between himself, So Campbell, Ian Wright, and I think, was it Gallas? I can't remember the third person now. In that video, he talked about letting them do whatever they wanted to do. And let's be real, most of those players made Arsene Wenger great because they were great players as well.
Yeah.
Quite important. But people need to understand that once these guys get across that white line and get into the football pitch on that green turf, bruv, there's nothing. The only thing the manager can do is shout. He will just be shouting from today till tomorrow, screaming, talking. This, if they don't want to do it, they won't do it. The best you can do is remove the player. When Eboye came into a football game under Arsene Wenger took him off within, 20 minutes or something. That's the first time I've ever seen Arsene Wenger ruthless. We know Mourinho does that a lot. Do you know what I mean? So the point I'm just simply making is, I feel he's better off playing on the left wing, right? But now that we have Martinelli, it's very, very difficult. And that's where there's a dilemma now. So Arteta needs to make the tough choice. He needs to make the tough choice.
I got criticized by Robbie, Claude, everybody. I was on the football terrace and I said, I think we should sell Aubameyang and we should let him leave because in my opinion, we shouldn't have any player holding us hostage. Any player shouldn't be bigger than the club. The club is first. We all support Arsenal. I support Arsenal. You support Arsenal. We all support Arsenal. So to me, Aubameyang should be moved on. If it means we have to replace his goals, to me, we'd be better off if we would have reinvested the Aubameyang's 25 million we would have got from Barcelona and invested into midfield.
But I hear what you're saying, yeah. But I think the problem here is this. First and foremost, he was one of the best strikers in the world at that time. One. Number two, Arsenal is known for selling their best players. And I think what the board is trying to do is they want to change all that, right? And he's loved by the fans, right? And believe you me, Egal, if they have sold Oba, you need to understand these guys as well. If they have sold Oba, bruh, the fans are going to be mad. They're going to be, trust me, the fans are going to be mad because this guy has been doing the business on the pitch, whether we like it or not. But if you look at it from a financial standpoint, those wages are freaking high for a 31-year-old. But then again, the reason why it took so much time before he signed was the guy, from his own point of view, he's making the deal of his lifetime. He's making his final deal because this is going to be the best deal he's ever going to get before retirement. The only way he can make this kind of money is if he goes to China or perhaps US. Do you know what I mean? So that is the reason why that deal took so much time for him to sign. But listen, let's not talk too much about Oba.
But we sacked the man who gave him the deal. Immediately after he gave him the deal, we sacked him. The same person who gave Willian the deal. Our chief negotiator for contracts was sacked immediately after he gave Willian and Aubameyang the deal. It just goes to show you that Tim Lewis has found some big shocking, because apparently even Barcelona were not offering Aubameyang those kind of wages.
I don't know the details of the Barcelona deal, to be honest with you, except you do. I don't know.
Fabrizio Romano said on the Arsenal Lounge that he turned down 2 contracts. He turned down an offer from Inter if they were to get rid of, if they were to sell Lautaro Martinez. But then Lautaro Martinez was not sold. So then Barcelona was the backup plan. If they did not sell Lautaro Martinez, he was going to go to Barcelona. There was an offer on the table once Suarez was to leave, but Barcelona were in extreme financial difficulties. They were unable to get any deal over the line. And he would have to basically force the move. He did not do that. He chose to stay at Arsenal, and Arsenal decided to give him the wages that he felt were good enough for him. So he ended up staying. To me, that makes sense. But what doesn't make sense is immediately after he's given the contract, we let go of our chief negotiator who gives these contracts out.
Okay.
The same.
I see what you're saying about that, and that's one of the problems in Arsenal, isn't it? The management, the whole thing about Arsenal, that's a different topic, honestly. I don't even want to get into that right now, because if you want to start getting into how business has been done in Arsenal, man, I'm going to be ranting right now, man. It's too early to rant. Do you know what I mean? It's just too early to rant. But that's something you and I can talk about in another video. Honestly, I think I'm going to be doing a lot more videos with you because obviously there's so much I want to get out of you. Sterling here says Xhaka out. I have my reservations about people's opinion on Xhaka, by the way. I have my own reservations about it. But before I give my point, you're the guest here, so I'm going to allow you to answer this. What do you think about this, Xhaka out? I don't know what he means by Xhaka out. Maybe he means Xhaka out of the club or Xhaka out of the first team for this game. I don't know what he means by that. But
listen, I've defended Granit Xhaka after he did what he did at Crystal Palace. I've thought at times he was criminally underrated because he does offer something that people don't generally see during the game. He does keep the ball ticking. He does keep the possession rolling over. He is the glue guy to the midfield and the defense at times. But I see where everyone says he is a mistake waiting to happen. He is slow. If Granit Xhaka has the pace and ability, mobility of El Neni, he would be a more complete midfielder. That is what he's missing to his game. And a lot of people criticize him for something he physically cannot improve.
It's physiologically impossible. It's physiologically impossible. It is not possible. He has very slow feet. His waist, I think he needs to dance a little bit more salsa so he gets his waist a bit more flexible, because obviously he's not flexible. He cannot do what people ask him to do. However, in addition to what you've said, whether we like it or not, he's one of the few people in that midfield that has got positional sense in terms of putting himself in the right positions. And that's one of the reasons why whenever he makes mistakes, you see more mistakes from him, because you always see him in the right places where those mistakes are waiting to happen. Now, Another thing that Kenny Ken said, which I totally agree with, was Kenny Ken said that a lot of Arsenal fans focus on the bad stuff that Xhaka does, and they don't focus on the good stuff. Now, we all saw this clip of in that last game where Aubameyang made a run. I don't know if you saw it. Aubameyang made a run, and obviously he saw it. Obviously he saw it because he apologized almost immediately. He did not give that pass, which simply means that he saw the run, but he probably took him some time to be able to sort out his feet. And I was like, oh shit, I can't sort out my feet. I'd rather just pass it sideways. And he apologized almost immediately. So he actually saw that run, but couldn't execute it. Now, let's pause for 1 minute, right? People went and ripped him apart, right? Went and ripped him apart. But I did not see any clip online where people were praising Xhaka for the pass that he gave to Tierney against Chelsea. I did not see. Remember the pass he gave to Tierney. Tierney then beat Reece James and then got the penalty against Chelsea. I did not see one person praise him for that, and he did so many of those type of passes in that game. But then when he makes that one mistake, it goes all over the internet. People start crucifying him. And this is where I feel we should have a little bit more balance in football. I try to be balanced, right? If I'm going to talk about Mesut Ozil, I'm going to talk about his very good world-class qualities. And I'm also going to talk about his bad habits as well. I think we should try and be more balanced as a fan base. And this is one of the things that I don't necessarily agree with. People focusing on only the bad habits and not focusing on the good side of things. We saw he didn't give that pass to Oba, but he gave a lot of those passes in the previous game. He didn't get any single praise for that. People didn't say anything. The only thing people talked about was his free kick. Why?
Let me tell you something. Granit Xhaka is a polarizing figure, and if you put your neck on the line for Granit Xhaka, he will let you down on a big occasion. And when he does let you down, it will be glorified. Same thing happens with a lot of players. There's agendas with players, and you can't do nothing about it until that player leaves. It's going to continue. For me, like I've defended Granit Xhaka, I've defended Bellerin. At this point, I'm no longer defending them. I'm only going to give them praise when they do well, and when they mess up, I'm going to also criticize them. I'm going to try to be fair with them. Granit Xhaka. Certain set of fans will never be fair with him. They've given up on him the moment he did what he did at Crystal Palace. They gave up on him apparently after the Leeds game. Was it the Burnley game when he got the red card? Every time he makes a mistake, it gets glorified, and because there's an agenda against him that people want him out of the club. And to me, he is not the best midfielder in the world. I know that. But what he is a third, fourth best midfielder on a team that could win a title. That is what he is. He's not.
So that means you like to have him around the squad, at least for some games, for some few games, like maybe FA Cups, even some games already winning games, you want to bring him in and stuff.
He could be our Henderson in the sense that, you know how Henderson was, people used to say he's nothing, he's not good, he's not useful, he's no benefit to our team. But when you put Gini Wijnaldum and Fabinho next to him, he shines. To me, Granit Xhaka, if you put a midfielder next to him who can get more goals, and you put a midfielder next to him like Thomas Partey, and you just ask him to be a registrar, that's where he's useful.
Okay. I totally agree with you. I do. Brandon AFC TV here says, keep the same lineup, guys. I don't want Bellerin or Xhaka anywhere near the starting lineup, but why change a winning team? I kind of see where it's coming from, with that. I kind of agree with him. Take El Neni out. Yeah, that was what I was saying earlier on. I feel maybe Ceballos should just have a run of games as well, because...
I'm sorry. Send Ceballos back to Real Madrid. Send him home where he can play better and he's more used to the game, because here in the Premier League, I'm sorry, he's not benefiting his career. If I was Ceballos, I would leave because I'm trying to get into the Euros team. I'm trying to get into the Spanish national team. And if I stay at Arsenal, I'm not benefiting myself and we're not benefiting Arsenal. Lucas Torreira is coming back. Let Lucas Torreira play in that DM spot next to Xhaka or Partey.
Okay. Nelson Franklin here says, but Maitland-Niles is not the player to take us to the next step. I agree. I do agree. I don't think... I still need something better than Maitland-Niles, in my opinion. Yes, I think he's a better preference to Bellerin, yes. But I still want better than the both of them. I still want better than the both of them, honestly.
He's more useful. He's more useful to our team than a lot of players. He plays he plays 4 positions for us.
But which one is he very good at?
He's good at right wing back. He's good at left wing back. He's good at right back, and we don't know what he can do in the midfield because we haven't seen it since the Man United away game where we lost in the last minute to a header from that big guy Fellaini.
Okay. Do you know what? Yeah, we're just gonna take a quick break, 30 seconds break, quickly, and we're gonna be back.
Hey, are you enjoying the content? Well, if you're enjoying the content, subscribe. What are you waiting for? Stop looking at me. Subscribe now. Come on. How is the channel going to grow if you don't subscribe? Help a brother. Thank you very much.
Yes, people, we're back. You heard it from the horse's mouth. You need to subscribe to my channel. You need to make it grow. Thank you very much for subscribing. Did you enjoy that video?
I'm like, you know what? Sometimes my computer freezes when I see videos on StreamYard. I don't know.
Oh, is it? That's your internet, bro. That's your internet. Yeah. You need to straighten out your internet. To be honest with you, I used the opportunity to put on the light. It was getting a bit dark in here. Right. Okay. Visham here says Lamptey would be oh my goodness. I love Lamptey. Honestly, I've watched a few of his games and he looks smallish, man, but that guy is intelligent on the ball. You see, this is what I'm saying. Would you take Lamptey or would you take Maitland-Niles? That's the question for you now.
Do you think how about this? Let me flip it on you. If Ainsley Maitland-Niles was at Brighton, do you not think he would be shining the same way Lamptey would be?
I don't think so. Because for me, Lamptey is more of a hard worker than Maitland-Niles. Let's be real. Arteta has actually helped improve Maitland-Niles a little bit. Let's be real. Before Arteta came under Arsene Wenger, sometimes you want to take a shoe and throw on Maitland-Niles. Sometimes it could be sluggish. I'm being real with you. Sometimes it could be very, very sluggish. Sometimes you're like, what's this guy doing? I want to do a Ferguson on you, man. What's that? Do you know what I mean? But he kind of improved. But I see Lamptey, man. There's so much intelligence with him on the ball and some of his crosses that he puts in, some of his runs. I don't know. There's just something about the guy that I like. There's just something about him.
You know what's going to happen? We will sign him. I can already tell you what's going to happen. If he's going to be a great player for us going forward, and then people are going to find a way to criticize him defensively because he's short and he won't be able to get headers in the box or anything like that. There's going to be something that I'm such a positive person that I can smell what the pessimists were already going to say about a Lamptey signing. So in my opinion, right back is not the situation where we need to sign. We need a backup goalkeeper. We need and we need two midfielders. To me, that is the priority. Right back is not the priority. We have three right backs.
Do you agree with what he said? He said along with Brandt. Do you agree with Brandt? Because I had a look at Brandt, and guys, we need to be real, man. We need to be real. Now, the story goes according to a German tabloid that Brandt has the same agent with Mertesacker. That smells fishy. That smells really fishy. They said Brandt has the same agent with Mertesacker. So I'm now asking the question, is this signing going to be because of the links due to the agents, which is something that I don't really approve of? Secondly, he's 24. Good age. No doubt about it. Very good age. But this guy right now doesn't start all the games for Dortmund. They've played 16 games this season. And I think he's only started... How many games has he even started? I can't remember now. But he has only one. He's only started 6. He's only started 6 games in the Bundesliga, and he has just 1 assist. And in the Champions League, they've played 6 games, right? He's only started 2 of those games. And I think he has just 1 assist or doesn't have any assists. So the question now is, this guy cannot make the team because of the likes of Sancho and the likes of Marco Reus. And we're going for him. So I don't want to criticize someone. I don't know anything. I don't know much about him. I'm only going by what I've seen on the stats. I've looked at a little bit of his highlights. He looks good, but he's not making the team. And Dortmund are not doing very well. They're probably in 6th or 5th position right now. So is this someone I don't know if you know much about him, but is this someone you would like to see? I'm not sure about him.
I would prefer a Julian Brandt to an Isco, but to me, I feel like neither of them are the player and profile we need. You know who I would probably name. It's a certain guy, a certain Argentinian who plays in the championship. That's who I would prefer.
Everyone wants him, isn't it?
Yeah.
Will Norwich release Buendia when they're topping the league? They need him to be able to
25
get back
million.
into the league.
I'm hearing 15 million is Arsenal's asking price. I'm hearing Norwich's asking price is 30 million. If we put down 25 million, I think we can get him.
You think so?
Yep. Because 10 million on top of what our valuation for the player is 15 million. We should add the extra 10 million. I'm telling you, this kid comes into our team, he will be the closest thing to a Santi Cazorla we've had since Santi.
Okay.
That's what he is.
Okay. Nelson Franklin here says, I think this is still about Auba, really. I think we've talked a lot about Auba. It's normal for strikers to lose, is it to lose go off? I think maybe lose form. That's why every team has a backup striker. It's normal. Auba is one of the best strikers in the Premier League. We know he's one of the best strikers in the world. There's no doubt. But
And
we
he's
still need
dangerous off the bench.
Say that again?
He's dangerous option off the bench.
I think he proved that under Emery, didn't he? Coming off the bench. If you're just joining us right now, make sure you subscribe to my channel, please and please and please and please, and hit the likes, guys. Hit the likes. Thank you very much. Laurent says I would have brought Suarez. Real talk, Suarez. Honestly, guys, I love Suarez, but guys, I don't want old players in my team right now, man. We've got Willian. Willian is what, 32 or 31? We've got Lacazette. Lacazette is gonna be 30 in May. We've got Auba on 31. Honestly, guys, we need to be getting a little bit away from old players now. We need a bit of longevity. We need people in the maybe 25, 24, that we can have in the
leaders,
next 5 years. Sorry?
Tad, we need leaders. We don't have a leader. So I'm okay with bringing in one experienced center back. Bring in one experienced center back. Okay. Get rid of David Luiz, Socrates, Mustafi, and bring in one experienced center back. You know who I'd bring in? Call me crazy. If we can get someone experienced who's done it all, who's already played in many different leagues, I would go after Johnny Evans if I could, but obviously he's already at Leicester. If not Johnny Evans, I would go to Inter and I would grab one of their center backs, or AC Milan even. I'll go to AC Milan and get one of their experienced center backs. I just want an experienced center back who's a leader, captain, something like a Thiago Silva coming into our team who can just raise the level.
You don't think Luiz is a leader enough for you?
Luiz is not a defensive organizer. He's kind of a liability himself, so he can't lead by example. So how is he going to lead a whole defense?
Okay. So Sentiment FC has just given a shout out to you, Egal, and shout out to myself as well. Shout out to you, Sentiment FC. Thanks for always being here. I really appreciate it. Osman Ali, anyone who rates Auba has been equal to, let alone better than Kane, simply doesn't understand football. Simple as that. Gunners die. Hey, Gunners die. You're right, bro. As long as Arsenal stop Romain Soyas from playing, as is the most creative player, I'll also go with Ceballos and Xhaka and Ceballos and Isn't right back. Okay. Brandon AFC again says, what do you guys make of the report that Arsene Wenger is open to returning to Arsenal if Arteta gets sacked? I don't think he said he's returning to in a coaching capacity. I think he said if they need help, he will come back or something. I don't think he's in the coaching capacity, really. I think he said himself that he's not sure he's going to be coming back to coaching anytime soon as well. I don't know. I'll take some of the things this guy said with a pinch of salt. I remember when he left Arsenal, he said he was going to be back. He was in April or something, and next thing he got a new job in FIFA. Lloyd Rancher says, and after Sunday's Bale. Listen, Bale is not even making the team, bro. I think he was even injured. He wasn't even in the squad today. Sterling, Pochettino arrives in Paris to complete PSG move. Good luck to him, man. Good luck to him. But Visham here says, Smith Rowe is a baller. He is a baller. I totally agree with you. Origi, hell no, man. Hell no. Is that guy still in Liverpool? Jesus Christ. Let me finish. Let me know. These guys are mad, man.
What do you think about Balogun over Eddie Nketiah?
100%.
You see, this is why I like you, bro. We think alike. I like this.
100%. I mean, I try to be real. Nketiah has had his chance. Nketiah doesn't show me he has anything much to offer to the team. The little cameo appearances that you see from Balogun, bro, the way that guy runs, the guy is hungry. The way he handles the ball, the way he controls the ball, the way he conducts himself when he's with defenders, the way he holds up play. There was one hold up play and pass that he gave in the Europa League. I've never seen. Well, maybe once in a while I've seen Nketiah, just once in a blue moon. But Nketiah gets missing in games, man. And I think Arteta has seen it. He's given him enough chances. He's given him enough chances.
We haven't spoken about Basuma.
That's something. Listen, man. Honestly, do you know what? Yeah, I think you and I can talk about transfers. Then we'll have more to talk about because we haven't still got into the main, which is West Brom, which is gonna be the final predictions and the final segment.
Crazy.
We're gonna get to that. Let me finish. I don't know if you know this, but that's. I think I got into an argument with what's his name? Oh goodness me, Yardman, and I think they made a meme out of me because of this crap. Really, it's going all over. Let me finish. Like it was just funny. Big up to you, L. Just make sure you subscribe. Brooke Daniel, why do you do a video for 13 people? What do you mean for 13 people? You mean my video views or what? Is this guy a troll or something? ESR is decent. Yeah, it's decent. Robbie has a brother. This guy is not serious, man. Yes, Robbie has a brother. Yes, he has a brother, obviously.
They're having a conversation amongst themselves.
Yeah. So I'm just I have to pick the right ones now. Isn't it where Emre played 2 strikers? I think he tried. Yeah, I think Emre played 2 strikers.
When
the game that we played against Valencia.
When Ramsey got injured, he tried doing it.
Yeah, but I think was that against Valencia? Did we play 2 strikers?
Yeah, we did. When we scored all those goals and he got a hat trick.
5-1, isn't it?
He got a hat trick, right?
Yeah. Oba had a hat trick. I think it was 5-1, isn't it? I think 1-5-1. Him and Lockham. On FIFA, I play Oba in the middle, but you can't compare. Come on, bro. Lloyd. I want to meet Robbie. Bro, you've met Robbie before, man. What's wrong with you, man? Lloyd, you've met him in Emirates. Why are you asking me these questions? And so what is the point in having managers then? I don't know. In relation to what? What are you talking about? In relation to what? Are you talking about what I said earlier about managers are overestimated, or what does this mean, really? Lloydie, Robbie is at the okay. They're just responding. Hi, Christian. I think this is for you. Egal, if Arsenal only sign Buendia this January, well, where will you finish, bro? I don't think he's an Arsenal fan, but can you answer that question?
He's a Man United fan. 6th.
6th?
Yeah.
Okay. That's quite optimistic. To be honest, it's actually realistic because of the point difference right now, to be honest. That's if we win games. Engineer, you want to sell your top goal scorer. How does that make sense? I think this is in relation to what you said about Oba and and I think we already talked about this, Engineer. Oh yeah, we already talked about it. The fact that
the simple answer is
it's difficult to sell him. Sorry?
The simple answer is if you buy a midfielder who can create more chances for the people that are up front, you'll get more goals. If you keep a goal scorer but you don't have no one to create for anybody, you have less goals. It's just easy, simple math.
And
more chances, more goals.
He said that they will be mad. So basically, he's saying that the fans are going to be mad, which is what we talked about already. Arteta broke Lampard.
I think he did.
Bro, he was broke before he even came to us. He already lost games to Wolves and Everton, so it wasn't because of us, really. It wasn't. Listen, I was seeing a lot of Let me show you guys a few things right now. Let me just show you guys a few things which I talked about in the last in my last podcast. Yeah, I've seen a lot of insults from a lot of fans, which I kind of disagree with. My opinion. I'm just gonna put it on the screen now. I kind of disagree with it. So, I mean, these are all Chelsea fans. I don't really get it. There's a sack him in the tunnel. I've not witnessed anything more embarrassing in 15 years of watching Chelsea. Really? What about the time that Mourinho took you guys to 15th position? So I don't get it. Do you know what I mean? So I think we just overreact as fans sometimes. Is I put your hands up if it's embarrassing. I mean, these are people just, these are people kind of trolling. I wish we'd sack Lampard and bring in Poch. Now, this one was the one that got me done. Yeah, this one was one that got me done. I just didn't really understand this statement because, like I said, we overreact. They said, Lampard, you are not a legend anymore. You are a traitor to Chelsea FC and Chelsea fans. Why do we have to go to that extent of calling someone a traitor? I don't get it. This is probably, arguably, one of the best players in the history.
No, that's old. That's from when he went to Man City.
Is it?
You can see the picture of the Man City in the top.
Oh, that's bad press from me then. I apologize, people. That's bad press from me because I saw when I did a search, I was looking for recent pictures and all that. One of these popped up. Okay, cool. Anyway, enough of that, yeah. enough of that. I'm just going to take a few more comments and we're going to end this, right? Engineer should have been 2 years contract. I think he's still talking about the Oba deal. How many years did we give him? Was it 3?
Yeah, 3 years. What's your prediction for the game though? We didn't do that yet.
Yeah, I think most of these comments are just, people having a chat amongst themselves. Right. So I think for me, I'm gonna be looking at I think before I answer that question, I'm gonna be hoping we get a West Brom that played against Leeds. That's the West Brom I'm gonna be hoping for. Definitely not the West Brom that played against Liverpool. That's for sure. I'm gonna be hoping. But listen here, I think if we stick with the formation and we stick with the players that we've got, the Martinellis, the Saka, I think we're gonna have a chance to win this game 2-0. I don't know if that's me being optimistic, but guys in the comments, can you give me your predictions? What do you think about this game? West Brom versus Arsenal. How do you think the game is gonna go? What's your predictions, people? Wow, 4-0. Are you freaking kidding me right now? Nelson Franklin, are you for real? 4-0. Studying yes, 2-0. Yeah, I think 2-0 for me is a bit realistic, really. I think it's a bit realistic, honest. I know some of that is going to come with a defensive shape and all that, but I think this is more realistic.
I think we're going to keep a clean sheet. I agree with you.
What about
you? I think we're going to keep a clean sheet. I agree with you on that. If we play the lineup that I want, which is the back four with Ainsley, Pablo Mari holding, Tierney, obviously Leno in goal, Xhaka, and I'm gonna have to play El Neni because I don't like Denis Ceballos at this point. I would go with the same. I just don't think Ainsley. I think El Neni would offer us more in this kind of game where it's industrial and you have guys who are fighting. Where Ceballos is more technically skilled, and when he goes against teams that are fighting, he can get bullied somewhat.
But the thing about El Neni is the fact that we've seen in the last couple of games, he loses the ball easily. Ceballos doesn't lose the ball often compared to him.
I know, but at the same time, Ceballos physically gets manhandled in the midfield when it comes to headers, 50-50 chances, going for loose balls in the midfield. El Neni has a better chance of going after a loose ball in the midfield against a West Brom defense than El Neni does. Than Ceballos does. Ceballos won't come out of a challenge and a shoulder shrug. He's gonna fall over and he's gonna try to draw the foul, where El Neni will try to stand up and take that.
Okay, fair enough. Your exclusive here says 3-1. Vilsham here says 2-1. I know people won't agree with me from AFC. AFC says he will rest Martinelli to start Pepe. Do you agree with that? I'm not sure about that, man.
I think Saka on the right, he has made that position his. He has to start on the right, Saka. If you're going to play Pepe, you're going to play him on the left?
I don't even want Pepe to start. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, Pepe's not starting for me.
Not for me. I don't want him to start for me.
My score is going to be 3-0.
3-0? And you guys are freaking over positive in here,
man. No. Let me explain. If we score the first goal, we're going to have to ask them to open up and start trying to chase the game. And then we score second, they're going to open up even more, try to get a goal, and we're going to get a final goal like last dying minutes. So it's going to be the 3-0 will be a flattering scoreline.
Okay, fair enough. Listen, bro, thanks a lot for coming on my live. I really appreciate you taking your time. We've done an hour now. You see, this is the thing about football. We can go on and on and on and on. I really, really appreciate you coming on. I really do.
Thanks, man.
And hopefully we'll get to do a bit more of this. And I'm pretty sure, you brought a lot of people on here, to be honest, to come watch these videos and all that. And I really, really appreciate that. So we're definitely going to be doing something very soon, myself and Egal. For all those that contributed, for all those that were arguing, for all those that disagree with us, and for all those that love us, for all those that hate us, I love you guys too. Anyway, see you guys later and talk to you later. Bye.
Hey, are you enjoying the content? Well, if you're enjoying the content, subscribe. What are you waiting for? Stop looking at me. Subscribe now. Come on. How is the channel going to grow if you don't subscribe? Help a brother. Thank you very much.